to worshiptutorials.com.
Guten Tag.
We have a new Fractal preset for you today for the Axe-FX3 and for the FM3. This one is called the Urban Twin.
I am curious how many people right off the bat already know about this.
Yeah, kind of like up in the, the beginning of the list of the amp models. And, you pull up the amps and you see one that says 5F8. What is 5F8? What does that mean? It's probably a Fender-y thing, who knows? That is actually Keith Urban's own personal, vintage, high-powered Fender Twin amplifier. It's been customized. It has, it's a combo amp that he took the original speakers out of it, and he put 2 rock speakers into it. If you look in the IRs, there's actually, in the legacy IRs, there is an IR of Keith Urban's speakers from that amp as well. So we thought to ourselves, let's just Keith Urban, when it comes to guitar tone, he's up there. He's in contention for some of the best guitar tone I've ever heard.
Even if you don't appreciate and enjoy country, I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
There's a handful of his songs that are like crossover hits.
Oh man,
that good. Reached on like the normal top 40 radio. And I've always appreciated his tone.
So what we thought, we said, let's just make a Keith Urban artist patch for FM3 and Axe-FX3.
And inspired by.
It's like a Keith Urban meets praise and worship.
That's true.
That's accurate. You get, of course, like all the stuff that we throw into like every one of these presets.
There's so much.
Delays and more delays, and then you got some delay with your delay, and same with reverbs if you want. And so,
if you like reverberating, you can reverberate while you're reverberating.
That's right. Yes. And the same goes for the FM3 preset as well. So for Axe-FX3, it's set up to work with the FC controllers from Fractal. So you get like layouts for like stomp box layouts and for scenes. Now on the scenes, the first 4 scenes are going to be like your basic. They're not as like praise and worship heavy as our other stuff. So you got your basic clean. We got one that's called push. For that one, we did something a little different. We took the in the amp block in Fractal stuff. You can go to the preamp section, I believe, and there is a boost section. So you can set the type of boost, which pedal model you want to use.
It's not just a boost.
It's
like you can use a pedal style.
Yeah, it can be an 808.
It's so cool.
Yeah, so I think on this one we actually used neutral. It sounded we just really liked it.
Yeah.
And then you can set the level of gain, but you can turn that on and off with a control switch, which is what we did. So we set control switch 1. It turns on and off the boost. So it's essentially like an overdrive built into the amp.
It's cool. You should
so we use that for the push scene. And then we've got the drive scene, which is the BB preamp, because it's something that Keith Urban uses a lot. And then scene 4 is called solo, and it's going to be more of like a classic rock type of a solo. There is a delay, like a quarter note delay that has it kind of washes out underneath it.
Yeah, it doesn't come in right away either.
Yeah, so it's not like a super wet, prominent thing, but it does kind of fill out your sound a little bit. And then snapshots 5 through 8 introduce all the wet effects.
The ambience, the ambiance, it's the church layer.
There you go.
The bottom.
So you got the
bottom
top
is,
40 cover band layer, and then you got the church stuff on the top.
If you're a praise and worship guy, well, whatever you tend to play, just know this: people who play praise and worship are very high maintenance. We are very high maintenance. We need like 8 reverbs. We need 4, all this stuff. Yeah. And then you got people who are actually making it on top 40 radio, and they're like, "Yeah, just give me an overdrive and a delay."
It's funny when like if you go to their forums. Like, I've been on the forums before, Fractals, and I've said, please, can we have tenths places for the tempo? Because all the tempo,
I remember that.
All the tempo, you can only set the BPM in whole numbers. So like 48, 49, why am I going so low? 78, 79, 80, right? So I asked, can we do 84.5?
Which you would think would be a very easy request, reasonable request.
It's probably just, a line of code and it's done. But, boy... I got, what's the word? Lambasted? Is that a word that you can use?
Roasted.
Who in their right mind would ever need that? Why would you?
Yeah.
We need it. Because we church players are high maintenance.
Because there are a plethora of Hillsong tunes at 72.5.
So Fractal, if you're like, 9 minutes into a patched preset demo video, and Fractal's not going to see this, but
They're
if
not
you
gonna
do,
see it.
may I please make the request again
Implore
to
you.
add tenths to the tempo. That would be nice for us praise and worship people. All right, so for the FM3 preset, you get like we've made a video. I'll link it below where it's like how much can you put in an FM3 preset.
Quite
it's
a
a
lot.
lot. So we use channel switching for a lot of the stuff in FM3 to get different sounds from like the delays and drives. But we have included a separate preset called Effects that has all of the rest of the stuff from the Axe-FX 3 preset. So we mentioned earlier we use the BB preamp because Keith Urban uses that for drive.
Yeah, there was a rig rundown where there's like 2 on his board.
He's used all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
but, but in this particular rig rundown, they were talking about his solo tone comes from you knew of this what was it, the Mesa.
Oh, the
Flux?
Mesa Flux Drive. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the reason I knew of it is because John Mayer
you
has
want
been
one.
using one. I do want one. They're relatively priced too, relatively reasonably priced. John Mayer also has been using one as of the last few years for some drive tone.
So we did some digging, and it turns out that the Mesa, maybe if you might know more about this than I do, maybe we're way off here, but it seems like the Mesa Flux Drive, you can get similar tones to it with the full tone OCD. So in the Axe-FX 3, at least at this point, there's been the drives update introduced the OCD. So we used that for the main lead tones. It sounds pretty close to what you hear on a record from him.
But there's no OCD in the FM3.
Yeah, so we use the shimmer drive in the
We use the
FM3,
shimmer.
which sounds pretty close too. In my opinion.
At the end of the day, Keith Urban plays a very specific way. He's always changing guitars. You know,
if
there's
you
like
want to sound
3
like
of his
him, you
rig
need
rundowns.
his fingers.
Yeah, that's largely it. But there's like 3 different rig rundowns that Premier Guitar did
They're
of
all
his
different,
stuff
yeah.
because he changes stuff out all the time. Super cool about his gear. The tech that does all the interviews like gets real in depth. It's really kind of cool.
Yeah.
But like he's always swapping out drives anyways. He said like literally a drive could change every night and it's just whatever he's feeling. So this is a very heavily inspired by Keith Urban patch.
Like
we grabbed
said,
the amp, we grabbed some ideas for his tone, and then we slapped the WT signature sounds on it and threw it together in a blender, and we were like, this is cool. It's different too.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of Fender-y bass patches.
And it sounds, I mean, this amp in particular, it's not like a regular Fender Twin.
Yeah.
The Fender Twin is a 40-watt amp. This vintage High Powered Twin is an 80-watt amp, which completely changes the way it sounds. And then pair that with the different unique speakers that he uses. It's a really cool sound.
Yeah.
It's worth checking out if you haven't already.
If you want to hear it in a band kind of context, we did use it for our Never Lost playthrough song patch.
Yeah.
We utilized that as like the bass amp tone. We were just really enjoying how it sounded, so we were like, let's just go from there. So we tweaked some things. So if you want to hear it, it's not like band context because I'm playing over the track, but you can hear it kind of in a being used in that regard as well.
All right.
As well as obviously this video.
Links below to get all of this stuff that we've been talking about and referencing. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Thank you for all the support over the years.
Yes.
And hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, according to the YouTube analytics, most people that watch the content here are not subscribed.
Interesting.
What are you waiting for? Now's the time. This is your moment of glory.
Hit that
subscribe button.
Hit it.
Hit the bell too.
Go ahead.
It'll go ding ding ding, and that will tell you that it doesn't actually make a noise, but I think it does animate.
It does animate, but we would appreciate it.
So YouTube will tell you when we upload stuff. All right. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.